Alright, welcome back everyone. Today I have an amazing video to show you guys. Behind me we have one of the best multi-item sources that I have ever seen created in Minecraft, with some new ideas and technology that I have not seen used in other sources before. First off, I do have to say that this was not designed by me. This was in fact designed by a guy by the name of RedGrosso, and I am just creating a showcase video for this design, with his permission of course, so of course all credits do go to him. Also, slight disclaimer, if my voice sounds a little bit different, it is because I'm trying to set up a new microphone at this point, and I have not exactly figured it out. Alright, so let's get into why this design is actually so incredible. As I told you before, it runs on a 24 game tick clock, as you can see, and it is 2 wide tileable because, as you can see, every slice is 2 blocks wide, as shown in more detail over here. And as you saw in the little demonstration, all of the minecarts that come through this rail over here are not slowed, which means that the system is more lag efficient because there is not a lot of minecarts busy hanging around the system. And of course, as you can see, the slices are really compact because inside this block here we have a slice on this side and on this side, so extremely compact. And of course, the only downsides to the system is that it is not one tileable. It does use hopper minecarts, which do cause a little bit of lag. And if you put a lot of the same item type into the system, it actually takes a lot longer to sort through, because of course we are still limited by hopper speed. But at least no items are lost. Okay, one more thing I would like to mention before anyone decides that they want to build this design. We have not extensively tested this, and it is quite a complex system, so I would not recommend trying to build this on a survival server if you are not experienced with redstone, or if your server has performance issues, because the system is quite complicated. So yes, build this at your own risk. Alright, so I will start with a description on how these slices work. So, same as my previous design, we have to set up a hopper minecart. And what we need is 4 blocker items and our item to be sorted. But the significant difference from this design and the previous design I showed is that there will always only be 1 item in this first slot, and the other 63 items will be traveling in this water stream over here. So what the system does is that it detects which item has to be sorted from this hopper minecart, and then it unlocks the hopper at the bottom over here so that it can let in the rest of the stack, which is flowing in the water stream. Okay, we will get into how the input system sets up such a minecart, but for now let's talk about the slices. Alright, so first thing that happens is our hopper minecart is traveling on these rails over here, and it pulls out an item from this chest if it is of the same type of the item that we want to sort. For example, these oak stairs. So when the hopper minecart comes under, it will pull out the stairs, which will trigger the system, unlocking both of these hoppers over here by retracting this piston with the slime, and these hoppers will be unlocked. Then what will happen is that both of the items now sitting in this hopper minecart will be extracted with the hoppers, and one will get shot back up into the chest up there, and the system will close again, and the second item will go into this pot over here and slowly trickle downwards until it gets to this point over here. And this comparator will detect it, and it will unlock this hopper over here, and thus allowing the items coming past to be collected. As you probably can tell, there is a bit of delay between this top part being detected and the item getting to the bottom. That is why the items in the water stream have to be staggered by a very particular amount from the first hopper minecart. Okay, also very importantly, since both of the items are taken out, the hopper minecart will be empty. So what happens is that a shield or any other non-stackable item is placed inside of this hopper minecart as soon as it gets its filters removed. This makes sure that it will pick up no more items from the rest of the system, and it is detectable at the end if the item has been sorted or not. And these shields are in a closed loop, so it will never run out, as the shield in the hopper minecart is reloaded into the system at the end. Right, and the last thing to mention, and there is a bit of overflow protection, so once the entire slice is filled up, the items will begin to travel down these hoppers over here. An important thing to note is that every slice, we have to alternate these blocks from slime blocks to honey blocks because they would stick together if they were not alternated. Alright, I think that explains the slices mostly. And I'm just showing you in the final design at the top here, this is where you can set up your chests as your filters for the system. Oh yes, just be careful about extending the system with more slices, because since the water stream and the minecart rail over here needs to have a almost perfect delay time between them, if you extend this on too far, they might become unsynchronous, and that will cause problems for the system. Alright, so let's see this part in action. I will take a couple test shulker boxes out of the system, put it in the input, and we will skip the system and I will come back to it and we will see what happens in these slices. Alright, as you can see, coming through are our hopper minecarts and our items on the water stream below. And as you can see, they are all perfectly timed with the item that is coming behind them. And if we take a look at the hopper minecarts coming through, you can see that the sorted item has been replaced with a shield. Okay, so let's talk about the input system. Alright, so over here I have what I believe is a pretty standardized design for a input system with a hopper minecart. So what happens is the shulkers are inputted into the chest minecart, which is then broken, and the shulker boxes are shot up this bubble stream into this waiting area over here. Okay, I am running the game at half the speed right now using the tick command so that I can show you what is happening. So first, our chest minecart is broken and our shulker boxes are taken up the stream. I will freeze the game just to show you what is happening. And as you can see, our 3 shulker boxes are in this water stream. So as you can see, they go onto the heavy weighted pressure plates, sit there and activate the dispensing system. So let me show you. As you can see, this has powered the system. And now a clock is running, which is dispensing out hopper minecarts into the system. Like this. Alright, so now what happens is the shulkers are unloaded. And this is a special unloading technique which uses a lot of hopper minecarts to like almost instantly unload each shulker box. And as you can see, there are a ton of hopper minecarts sitting in this location right here. And they all immediately get broken and the items drop into this water stream and go back up to the same weighted pressure plates where the shulker boxes were sitting. Just like that. And now what happens is we trigger the system again to start picking up all these items to be sorted. So yes, the hopper minecart comes along these rails over here, and here we have a non-stackable item sorter, which will pick up anything like swords or shulker boxes, like we have seen earlier. And then what will happen is we will put this into a shulker sorting system, which will detect if something is a shulker box or not. Because as you know, you cannot put a shulker in a shulker box, and that is how we detect this. So all these shulker boxes are passed down into the shulker unloader over here through this line of pots and hoppers. And all these shulker boxes being unloaded are stored in this chest. But now, these items will go over the non-stackable item filter. And once the item has been taken out of the non-stackable item filter and registered as a stackable item, it will sit in this pot over here, and a new hopper minecart will be dispensed that will pick up the 1 item and 4 shovels from this chest over here. And that is how we get our setup that looks like this over here with our 4 shovels and our 1 item. And what happens to the other rest of the items if there is more than 1 stackable item in the first hopper minecart? When the hopper minecart breaks over here, all the items will get shot out and have to be aligned perfectly so that we get the timings right with the hopper minecart that is going. So this hopper minecart over here has 1 dark oak log and the rest of the stack is sitting over here. And there is a delay over here to make sure that it is perfectly in time with this hopper minecart over here. Let me unfreeze and show you what happens. As you can see, all of our hopper minecarts coming through at the top. and all of our items are being perfectly aligned over here. It's being perfectly timed, and the system is running on our 24 game tick clock. Okay, another important thing to note is that when there are more than 40 different entities sitting on top of this heavy weighted pressure plate, the system will stop unloading shulker boxes and keep them all in this chest over here, and the input over here will be locked so that no more shulker boxes can be put in to be unloaded. And that is very important so that we do not get any despawning entities and that we do not flood the system with too much. Oh yes, and all the items that are in fact normal non-stackable items will go down into these chests over here where all the non-stackable items are filtered into. Alright, so the last thing to look at in the system is on the other side here, and that is how we deal with all the items that are not inside of our system already, that we do not have filters set up for. So when the hopper minecarts come back up this water stream, we have another non-stackable item filter so that we can take out all of these shields that were put into our hopper minecarts. And in the case that there are any items other than a shield in these hopper minecarts in the first slot, the system will detect that and will know that there are some unfiltered items in the system, and the rest of the items that come around this water stream will be redirected using this piston, and the items will be dropped down into this hole and picked up by the hoppers over here, which will go into the non-sorted items chests over here. And in the case that there are any overflow items that are not sorted, they will be sent back into the system to be resorted until everything has been stored. And the last case we have to account for is just any general overflow we have in the system if it cannot sort all the items at once. So what will happen is that the hopper minecarts will come through, they will have a shield in them, so the hopper minecarts will be taken care of as usual, but there will still be some items left in the stream because the hoppers could not pick it up fast enough. So what happens is that it goes through here, through this water stream again, and straight back into our original water stream that we had, where it will go sit on the weighted pressure plate once again and trigger the system to pick the items up again. And that is basically the only shortcoming of the system, is that overflow items will keep going through the system until it is finished. So at its max capacity, this system can sort a whole stack of items every 24 game ticks, which is actually incredible. But if you put through, let's say, 10 shulker boxes of a singular item, it will only run at hopper speed. And since at the max capacity we can sort a stack of items every 24 game ticks, that means that this system can sort through 3,000 stacks of items per hour. Okay, let me just show you a demonstration of some of these things. So as you can see in the shulker box, I have a definitely unfiltered item named R, which in this case is just some dark oak logs, and I'm going to put these in the system. So yeah, one last recap of the system. The shulker boxes wait on the weighted pressure plate. They are picked up by the hopper minecarts and put through the shulker box filter. Everything is unloaded in the system over here using the incredibly fast shulker unloading system. The items come back onto this weighted pressure plate and will keep triggering new items as long as the entities are less than 40. And what happens now is that the hopper minecarts pick up each item that has been sitting on the weighted pressure plate and will send it into the system to be sorted. As you can see, our first item is these dark oak logs that have no spots, and they are taken into the non-sorted items chests. And just to be safe, I put in some singular items which have no stack, and all the edge cases have been accounted for, so you don't have to worry about empty shulker boxes or one items or non-stackable items or anything. And as you can see, this is our overflow part of the system going into action. All the items come past here and back into the first water stream. So as you can see, the glass planes are still only coming in at hopper speed because the system is currently in overflow mode, but that is the only problem with the system. And yeah, everything is working perfectly. So once again, if you want to build this, be very careful because this is a complicated build, and make sure to double check all the items in single player as to what hoppers need to be full and which ones do not. So like for example, all these barrels have to be completely filled with hopper minecarts. This system has to be completely filled with shields over here. All of the chests have to be set up in this way with the standard blocker items. And of course, a couple minecart chests in these droppers and dispensers over here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I really hope you love this multi-item sorter as much as I do. And all credit and thanks to RedGrosso, the man who designed this. And yeah, if you guys have any problems with the system when building it, or just in general, feel free to leave your questions down in the comments. So yeah, thanks for watching and goodbye.